Greetings, and let's talk a little bit more about a new school of formalism. It's only been around since the 1930s. Well, oddly enough, it took that long to sort of make the first new school. So you kind of have Plato and Aristotle. Plato, as mentioned before, is for moralism, and Aristotle is for dramatic criticism, drama criticism. He broke it down into structures. Well, picking up on those structures, coming out of essentially World War I, all of a sudden there was new ways of writing. There was new world perspectives. There's a lot of really dark authors, very traumatized by World War I. And there was a new wave of criticism for really art. That's why it's called the School of Criticism. So literature fits, but it really starts to apply to all sort of forms of art. And what they started to do is take Aristotle's structural components and then to form more thoughts about what makes something good or bad. Just because it follows Aristotle's structure doesn't make it necessarily good or bad. It just makes it a story that follows the structure. So they started to look into the elements, the elements of writing, how they're used, and if they're used well, to really form the new criticism, which leads to new criticism. All right, so they are tied together. It's sort of a wave where everything that exists within the writing should tell us whether it's good or bad. It doesn't need to go out. It's right. It's how it was created, how it was formed. Now it's formalists, right? And the new criticism. Always look within that. So here are some questions that may pop up in new or in formalism. And again, this doesn't happen much anymore. New criticism does, but traditional formalist does not necessarily. So something like, how does the work use imagery to develop its own symbols? So again, we talked about symbols, universal symbols versus the symbols that appear within the literature. When we ask that question, we're actually asking a formalist question. You may not realize it, but it is. Here's another one. How are the various parts of a work interconnected? So let's say it's a story. Let's say it's a trilogy. Let's say it's something that's long. How does the beginning and the end, how are they connected? If there's a flashback, how is it connected? What does the form of the work say about its content? So if it's working reverse chronology, if it has flashbacks and things, what does the form say about its content? Or even if it's a drama or if it's a poet, right? All these are different forms. And then why do they choose that and how does it fit? Maybe it's a really serious poem that's in rhyming pentameter, right? Well, that's why, right? So formalist new criticism will look at the writer's decisions within the work without branching too far outside of it. Hope this helps.